Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, we are set. Kicking off some brilliant meditation today. As everyone may have seen in this morning's post, we are dropping in. This week is all about back to basics. So I'm really excited for the technique that I'm going to show you guys today. And of course, we're gonna drop deeper into the meditation. But even up to last night, I had learned a technique very similar to this when I was learning and going through my training for managing PTSD or eliminating PTSD, I should say. And in that process, this is a very simplified version of that. And I was reconnected with it last night, and even in the midst of being triggered by kids and everything else, and I did this technique, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, like that. You forget how deeply some of these things work. So I'm excited to pass it along to you. Like I said, this week is all about back to basics. Yesterday we were with our yes, no's, and today we are going to do the CP technique. So with that being said, I invite you all to drop in. Welcome, welcome. And as we begin, I invite you to close your eyes and just take a nice couple of deep inhales into the room, into the space around you. Just allowing your mind and your body to begin to focus in to my voice, to the environment, to the sounds of your breath. And I think today we'll do this technique before we drop fully into our meditation. So I'm going to invite you to take your left hand and hold it out in front of you. And then the pointer finger of your right, we're going to start on the outside. We're going to run all the way up and around. These are different planets on our hand, and we're essentially going to trace from the moon up and around. And just running the inside very, very slowly, as slow as you need to go. We'll do this twice just so you can get it. And notice how as you trace all of the fingers, how your body starts to respond. As you make your way all the way around and coming down the other side. You can even trace about up to the elbow. And so we're going to go again. But I'm going to invite you this time, just rub the hands together, take a nice breath in, and just check in with your body. Feel where your body is at. Feel into the top of your head. Feel into your sitting bones. Notice the sounds around you before we begin. And then feel into your chest. Where are you holding tension? Where are you holding stress? Just feel into where your mind is still running. And then as you're ready, go ahead and begin to trace again outside of the pointer finger and go very, very, very slowly. So slow, just allowing yourself to feel each subtle movement as that finger traces around, not speeding your way through it, but really taking the time to be present to the sensations. And so what we are doing here is literally with each little subtle movement, we are calming and connecting the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. And so if you go slow enough with this technique, you may even begin to feel that divine connection between your mind and your heart and your gut. Those are the two nervous systems. Notice how your breath becomes deeper. Go slow, ever so slowly. We're going to go one more time. And this time I really am going to invite you Now that your mind and your hands have synced up, I'm going to invite you to take a nice deep breath in. And as you're ready, starting to trace, but this time instead of focusing, going slowly, but instead of focusing on the hand, focus on that vagal nerve that runs from the top, the back of your head, all the way down, reaching down into the gut, controlling your stress response. And so just breathing ever so slightly, really focusing in on that connection, feeling your mind disconnecting, and feeling your body starting to take over our time together in this meditation. And as you continue to breathe, if you feel called to continue to trace your hand, feel free to do so. But I'm going to invite you now just to become aware of how much calmer your thoughts are, whatever anxiety or excitement you came in to our space today with, feeling that shift, feeling that difference, feeling your body just relaxing into the moment, into the breath, into the chair. As you breathe in and out, and we begin our journey with that light link, imagining that golden light up above, and noticing how, as you activate and awaken it today, sending that cord of connection, noticing how it comes in differently than when we usually just start cold, dropping right in. Now that you're already open, it's as though from inside your heart, a beautiful, beautiful flower is reaching up through your throat and the top of your head, seeking to open to the sun as you connect with it. And so I invite you to imagine that flower. What kind of flower shows up for you? I'm seeing a rose in particular, but some of you may see a jasmine or a lotus, carnation. I invite you just to imagine what that connection is to that flower, feeling it coming through and then blossoming as the warmth of the sun opens the petals of your mind. And so just in the same way we traced our fingers, I invite you in your mind's eye, and you may want to do it just through tracing your fingers again, but I invite you in your mind's eye to begin to trace the petals of this bloom of the flower, starting in the center and slowly in that spiral motion, working your way out. If you have a rose or a carnation, if you've got more of a petaled, like jasmine type of flower, tracing the edges of the petals. The same with the lotus, tracing those flowers and just noticing in your mind's eye how you come deeper into your senses. Our minds are so capable of doing and taking us to so many more places. So easy for us to be distracted, to get distracted. And so just in this moment, I invite you to observe how easily you're able to focus in on that petal, or where your mind jumps off to, where it starts to focus and wander towards other projects and activities. As you breathe in and out, just allowing it to get centered in the here and now. Continuing to breathe, completing the tracing of that flower. And as you do, feeling the warmth of the sun as we begin to drop into the heart, into our sitting bones, into the earth, and feeling those subtle shifts as we drop into the earth, tracing the stem of that flower and its roots down and in. If it's a petaled flower like the jasmine, is it on a branch, on a tree, on a bush? To trace into the earth. If it's the rose, as you drop into the earth, are there thorns that you pass over? If it's a carnation, can you feel the leafy aspects of the stem? And as you drop deep, deep, deep into the earth, imagining your feet like the roots of this flower, stretching down and in. Can you feel your feet hungering, thirsting for that beautiful, beautiful luminescent light that is the earth? As you send your intention and your focus down and into the earth. Think about for a moment how when we place a flower in a glass of water that has dye in it, the flower will drink up all of those colors. And it may transform into the most unnatural blue or purple or green. So think for a moment now how naturally these flowers, as they reach their roots into the earth, are calling forward the colors of the earth, the different codes of colors within the earth. For it's flowers that bring us the multi-dimensional hues. So as you breathe in and out here, I invite you to feel deeply into the earth, sending your focus and your intention down and in, and allowing your mind as it wanders to come back to center, come back to present, going deeper in. And once you feel like you've connected, taking that nice deep breath in and out, noticing what color begins to bleed its way up through the roots and into the stem. And maybe your flower had been a different color before, but as you connect with this, you feel it. You feel this color that is the beautiful color of your soul's imprint, the vibration that you came to this lifetime with. You feel it bleeding up and through the stem and into the flower at the top of your mind, reaching towards the warmth of the sun. And so slowly imagining that color working its way into the petals. Is it the same color as the flower you originally saw? Or does it take on a deep, dark indigo, a green, a sapphire blue? Breathing in and out, noticing if there is any essence here of smell, any memories that are called forward. You suddenly find yourself planted within the midst of a field of flowers, or walking through the sweet smells of the orange blossoms. Where do you find yourself as you just allow the vibration and the energy of the flower of your heart to open? And so we're going to come back to our hands again. And now as we work our way, tracing the outside of the hands, Noticing, starting at the roots on the outside of the pinky of the flower, and tracing your hand all the way up and around, and noticing how either the picture becomes more clear, maybe your channel, the colors you see in your mind's eye open more deeply, just noticing, scanning ever so slightly, how does your body shift as we work this connection in our inner intuitive channel. We're simply taking a trip up and down our vagal nerve, first tracing it through our fingers, then with our mind, and then with colors, up and down and through. And as you complete the tracing that time, notice what shifts for you. You feel like taking an even deeper breath in, settling into your body. And I invite you now to just notice what senses are present. We've pretty much completely turned off our minds at this moment. So just allowing yourself to drift, to be the flower blowing in the wind. Notice what senses deeply activate within your system. Is it smell? Is it sound? What sounds do you hear around as you go deeper? What sounds from within spirit are there? Can you feel the heartbeat of the earth through the roots of that flower? Can you hear the wind, even if you're indoors, blowing in the trees? What sounds are present? Maybe it's the sound of the river and the water babbling or rushing past, the current and the flow of life. So as you breathe in and out here, in and out here, I invite you to just feel this connection, now reaching your consciousness all the way up into that golden light, allowing that golden light to drop all the way down and through this beautiful channel of intention and light and relaxation that you've created from the top of your mind down into your root, into your sitting bones. Go ahead and let's trace again one more time. Noticing the subtle shifts, noticing how fast you feel called to trace. Noticing how sensitive your skin is, how the energy in your mind's eye shifts, how your breath deepens, and how different you feel from the moment we began the meditation. And now I'm going to invite you, starting on the other hand, to switch hands. And from the pinky out, tracing again. As you're doing this time, allowing yourself to bring a thought to your present mind and focus, going very slowly, a thought and energy that you would like to transform or release. And just having a flash of it, not needing to dwell on it, just knowing there's that situation. Oh yeah, I want to not respond that way. And so ever so slowly now, as you put that into the field of awareness, continuing to trace and allowing the tracing of the opposite hand to neutralize the charge and the energy around that thought. To neutralize the force that it has to trigger you. Something that you know triggers you and gets you off balance, and go ahead and intentionally throw it into the field and do one more tracing around, allowing the knots of intensity and the ways in which that experience, that memory, that conversation, that person. Just dropping them right up and in there. Allowing that trigger, the trauma from whatever that person or experience may trigger from past experiences in childhood or lifetimes. Allowing yourself to just trace all of that out. And as you're ready, shaking the hands out. And you may even want to just move the energy in them by rubbing them together, massaging them together, breathing in and out. And now feeling into that central channel and just noticing, observing what's here. Is there still a flower? Is there a pulsing of light? What's here for you? What is that divine connection that you're experiencing? Allowing your heart to open to it. What message from Spirit, as you say yes to your divinity, as you say yes to being the light of the world, love, inviting Spirit to just drop a message in, and maybe it comes in the form of a symbol. Maybe you feel compelled to write. Maybe you feel compelled as we hang up to speak into your phone and record. As you breathe in and out, just allowing that energy and those whispers on the wind of Spirit to come through and to speak into your heart, and knowing that you can take action on that by simply writing, speaking, giving yourself a hug, grounding this energy into form, creating formation of things that are tangible. As you breathe in and out, in and out. Excuse me. I invite you to feel that divine connection. Feel your shoulders roll. Feel your body begin to open. As you prepare to go about your day, taking Spirit with you. And releasing as you feel fit and called to all of those triggers, as you find yourself triggering today, if you do, just allowing yourself to trace the hands and make it a beautiful day with so much love. Namaste. I will see you all tomorrow.